around. I'm gonna shoot my troubles down, line them up and watch them fall. I don't feel anything but the ground beneath my feet. Got no words to speak or tears to cry, and it feels like this rusted out car is the only thing left for me to lean on. With the power of my papa's 45, I'm gonna clear my mind. I'm gonna clear my mind. I'm gonna let him fly. Did God leave me all alone on a solo mission to find my own way home? The only enemy I see on this battlefield with me is a storyteller chasing lights that are racing through my mind. And it feels like this rusted out car is the only thing left for me to lean on. With the power of my papa's 45, I'm gonna clear my mind. I'm gonna clear my mind. I'm gonna let him fly. I'm gonna let him fly. And I don't know how to fall apart. These shards of shrapnel are tearing through my heart, but they won't take me down. I am not lost and I don't want to be found, but God, I don't want to be bound. What if I lay my weapons down and surrender on my knees? Oh, it feels like this rusted out car is the only thing left for me to lean on. With the power of my papa's 45, I'm gonna clear my mind on my knees. I'm gonna clear my mind. I'm gonna let it fly. I will fly.
So a couple of weeks ago, I like to, on my office days, get out of the four walls. I make myself stop and I walk to go find food and walk back. My office is not in a particularly pedestrian-friendly area, so I'm usually the only human on 2 feet walking. And I was coming back and I'm just walking along minding my own business, and I hear someone call out, "Hey, can you help me?" And so I look across the street and there's a gentleman in a wheelchair in the parking lot. And of course I'm like, yes I can. I don't know what he needs, but I can help, right? Like, I get to help a real live actual human today with my own 2 hands and not through a screen or a computer or indirectly. Like, I get to do it. All right. So I go marching with my little backpack on, and I'm going marching across the street, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you came by," because I'm not quite to him yet. I'm still walking, but I can hear him. And I've been waiting for 20 minutes. He's like, "I need you to get in my van." It was mid-stride stop. Sorry. So then, of course, here comes in, because I was in full 100% oneness, heart forward. I'm going to help this human. We're connected. Until all of a sudden, I'm like 80-20. Right? Like, I'm really wanting to be in oneness, but now the flags have gone off in my head, and there's like this fear. Right? Red flags. I hear my mom's voice in my ear. Don't go with strangers. Don't get in the van. If they promise you candy. Or puppies. And now the candy I could have passed on, but if there were puppies, the story might have ended a little bit differently. So here I am, and I'm trying to, my brain is on go, right? Everything is locked in. I'm scanning the gentleman. He clearly is wheelchair bound and has been so for some time, just based on his body and the atrophy and the type of wheelchair he had. Like I could tell. And I'm looking over. There is an accessibility van. It is open. It is open away from the street. And there are bushes. So of course my eyes are like checking the bushes. Is anybody in the bushes? I can't tell if there's anybody else in the van. And so I know he knows that I've now hesitated. So I relaxed my stance a little bit. I'm still trying to figure out, did I just walk into a real life after school special? Or if this person really needs my assistance? And he definitely noticed, and he looked at me and he said, I know this sounds really weird. He's like, I get it. He said, but I've been waiting out here for 20 minutes. I dropped my drink bottle in the van, and it's blocking my ability to get into the van, to get behind the wheel so that he could go home. He's like, I really just want to go home. So I looked him very squarely in the eyes until I could see the God in him. So now I'm like 90-10. We're almost there, back into oneness. And I continued to look at him for a second. And that look may have had a slight edge of, do not mess with my humanity, my hope in humanity today, sir. And he got it. We got it. Even without saying it, we got it. And so I was like, okay. I edge myself over, I look. There is indeed a drink bottle in the van that is blocking his ability to go home. So I would love to say that I 100% stepped into oneness and like full peace pilgrim, glided effortlessly into the van and grabbed the bottle. It was more of a yogic stretch, gymnastic attempt to where I was partially in the van but still had a leg out and my hand against the door so no one could shut it. But I grabbed the bottle and I gave it to him, and I looked at him and he said, thank you. And I said, you're welcome. Have a beautiful day. And it just so happens in that same day, by the magical power of the interwebs, there showed up a quote from Ram Dass, which is, all of the ways in which we are separate are some level rooted in fear. The dialogue in humanity is the dialogue between fear and love. And what I realized is that I first had to have that dialogue between my heart and my mind to get them aligned, to be able to move forward in grace and to release the fear. And then I had to have that dialogue with him, whether with words or with my eyes. And then we were both able to move forward and find our way home. Holy Heart of the universe, May we enter this time and space with open hearts and open minds. May we honor and acknowledge our fear and other emotions. May we identify where perhaps they're keeping us stuck. And may we engage in our self-work to increase that dialogue between our hearts and our minds, so that our heart prevails, illuminating our fear, allowing us to release it, and may that light guide us on our way home. And so it is.
It's nice to know there's a place that you call home, and everyone there knows your name. They'll tell you stories about back when you were young, and imagine you're exactly the same. And it's alright when you slip back into home and remember all the words to those songs they sing. It doesn't matter what you believe in tonight when you're home. Makes it all alright. They'll probably never see all the places that you've been. They'll never give you grief about those letters you meant to send. They're where you come from. Their wisdom is your truth. They'll tie you to the land you overlooked in your youth. And it's alright. You just slip back into home and remember all the words to the songs they sing. Doesn't matter what you believe in tonight when you're home. Music makes it all alright. This place is smaller than it was back in the day, but their hearts are bigger. You know they mean it when they say, I love you. You're the apple of my eye. Come back and see us real soon. We'll be here if you drop by, and it's alright. You just slip back into home and remember all the words to those songs they sing. Doesn't matter what you believe in tonight when you're home. Music makes it all alright. I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore. Very deeply I was stained within, sinking to rise no more. But the master of the sea heard my despairing cry, and from the waters lifted me. Now safe am I. Love lifted me. Love lifted me when nothing else could help. Love lifted me.
You know, we have these jar cards, and you're willing to fill one out. If you haven't filled out a jar card, you can fill one out. They're up here. There's some pens afterwards. Just saying what you feel Spiritual Soul Center is about. Here's the questions this year. Why Spiritual Soul Center? This person said, because we aren't meant to walk life alone. To give and receive. What have you discovered here, or what are you hoping to find? Energetically aligned community and friendships that will become bosom friends. Genuine caring, sharing, divine love. All right. How does it feel here, or how are you hoping it will feel? Welcoming, accepting, light, belonging. And how will you enrich this space in our community, adding my light to support the community flame? Adding my light to support the community flame. What a wonderful thing. So thank you. If you wrote that, thank you for doing that. All right. Well, it's no surprise that the music and Megan's little message has already supported exactly what I've been thinking about this week. It's no surprise to me, because I do believe, as Megan does, that we all are energetically connected. Right? We all are energetically intertwined. We don't think we are because we got this body and it looks this way, but the truth is there's a connection that we have. It's just the unseen connection, so we forget about it. So I'm starting off this talk by saying yes consciously is a powerful thing. Saying yes and making a decision carries with it a power that is unseen, but that is powerful. Just deciding something makes a difference. It has a feeling to it. It has a rightness to it. It has something to it that is undeniable and at the same time indescribable. You know, saying yes, taking a chance, making a commitment, like diving in. We call it diving in, right? Like that has power to it. That has power to it. And we forget about that because I think sometimes we walk through our life and we don't make decisions. We just kind of bump along. We kind of ho-hum along instead of deciding something. I want to share a quote with you that you might be familiar with. It's from the Scottish explorer, the Scottish mountain climber. His name is William Hutchison Murray. And back in the early 1900s, you know, saying 1900s now makes me feel old. Because like many of you, I was born in the 1900s. Anyway, it's just something that came to my mind. 1900s, yeah. But he was putting together an expedition from Scotland. He was a Scottish mountaineer. He's to the Himalayas. And he wrote a book on this called The Scottish Himalayan Expedition. And he says this in the book. He says, but when I said that nothing had been done, I had erred in one important matter. Because here's what happened. We had definitely committed ourselves and we're halfway out of our ruts. Have you ever felt that way? Like halfway out of our ruts. We had put down our passage money, this is in the early 1900s, and booked a sailing to Bombay. That's what they had done so far in this preparation for this expedition to climb the Himalayan mountains. And he says, this may sound too simple, but is great in consequence. And here's where you might recognize it. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy. A chance to draw back. Always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. Fill your name in for that. God, Spirit, whatever. Providence moves too. And all sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material existence which no man could have dreamt would have come his way. The power of saying yes like that. And not just saying the words, but the feeling of the words. To say yes. Booking the passage. Making it, making a decision. Making a decision. Saying yes with decision making. Because saying yes when you really mean no, not the same power. Not the same power. Saying yes when you really mean no causes resentment. It causes boredom. You're the one that shows up, I should say I'm the one that shows up to the party, stays by the back door, and the minute I have a chance, gets out of there right away. Right? I mean, that's saying yes when you really meant to say no. Why did you show up in the beginning? You know, if you mean no, say no. But when you mean yes, say yes. Because yes holds that power. Yes holds that power. But we're afraid to say yes. Megan just described that. You know, she was all hung-ho until, right? We're afraid to say yes because we have a fear. And I think a lot of times we are afraid to say yes because we make it about losing our freedom. Well, if I say yes, then I'm going to be committed, and then I'll have to do this, and then they'll ask for this, and by the time I commit to one thing, then they'll ask me for the next. So we're like, no commitment. No, not. It'll be, I'll lose my freedom. I'll lose my freedom. Why would I want to make that commitment? I don't want to say yes. We also don't say yes because we fear that we'll disappoint someone. Maybe even ourselves. Maybe I don't want to say yes because I don't feel I can be successful. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe things won't work out the way I think they're supposed to work out. Whoever the supposing is that all that is. So there's a fear. There's a fear of saying yes because of that. You've felt that before, haven't you? I certainly have. I think the fear has to do a lot with not really knowing what I really want. Not really knowing who I want to be and how I want to be in life. Because if I really did know, the answer and the decision should be easy. It should be easy. But it's not, because I don't really know what I want. How I want to be. Who I want to be. How I want to be in the world. That's what I'm saying. We're not brave enough. You know, we're not brave enough to take a chance. Because it takes some bravery to take a chance. Because we don't know. I was listening to NPR this week, sometime on the radio somewhere, driving somewhere, and there was an interview about this Aussie surfer. Her name is Laura Enever. She's 31 years old. She just got the Guinness World Book of Records for the size wave that she rode in Hawaii in January. Have you heard about her?
Yes.
She rode a wave that is 43.6 feet tall. 43.6 feet. I mean, go out and stand next to a 4-story building and you will see the size of the wave that was behind her that she rode in Hawaii in January. I would say that if anybody in this room was there on that wave, we would have died. I'm guessing there are no surfers in here that could do that. We would have been tumbled and lost our breath and been crunched by the power of the ocean. But not her. 43.6 feet. Is that what I said? I think I said that right. Yeah, 43.6 feet. You think she was scared? Well, in the interview, yes, she was scared. Of course she was scared. She could have died. She knows she could have died. Anybody who does that kind of sport, of course they know they could die. But she did it anyway. She said yes because she knows who she is and knows what she wanted to do. Now, when her parents saw the video, she said, they were very proud of her, and at the same time saying, "What in the world are you doing?" Yeah. So saying yes doesn't mean that we're not scared. Saying yes means we know who we are and we're okay with it. We're good with it. We know it. We carry that energy with us by saying yes. By the way, we should carry the exact same energy when we're saying no. Because our job here in the world is not to say yes to everything. Our job, as it were, is to feel this way, saying yes or saying no. Saying no is what clears the way. It clears the clutter out so that we can say yes to what is ours to do, how we are to be. I think that's the way I want to live. Not to say yes for everything that comes by, but to realize, to know myself enough to say yes to those things that are mine to do and to be, and to say no to those that clear out the pathway so that I can be in my yes. Yes? Yes. Yes. Right. So the question isn't, is it scary? It's, how does it feel to me? How does it feel to me? How do I speak from my heart? Megan talked about the heart and the mind in conflict there when it was 100% and then all of a sudden it was 80-20. How do I bring my heart in to the decision making? That's what it's all about. And not to alarm you, but you are on the clock. We do not have any guarantee of how much longer we'll be here. We have been on the clock since we were born. So my question to you is, what are you saying yes to? What is the thing? What is your heart? Are you following your heart? Or are you worried about what somebody else is going to think? Or are you so scared that you're letting the fear overcome the heart and then that mind go over and over? Do you think Laurie would have been able to do that on that wave? No. You've got to decide. You got to practice saying yes. You got to practice consciously saying yes. See, this is what I'm talking about. Consciously saying yes. Consciously deciding. Whatever it is in your life. Consciously deciding those things. And it doesn't have to be, I'm not asking you to start with the biggest chance to take, like the 43.6 foot wave. I'm talking about everyday choices. But decisions, making conscious decisions about them. Because you can't do it all, you can't be it all, you can't fix everything. You can only do what is yours to do and be. I know we like to tell our children, you can be anything you want to be. You know what? I don't believe it's true. You can be what you are created to be. And you will be the happiest if you are that. That. And I say that to you right now. You will be the happiest if you will do and make decisions and say yes to what you are here to be and do. You. The special you, the unique you, that you. But if you are conscious enough to say yes, if you make decisions, if when your chance comes along, when your chances come along, you'll know which chance to take. You'll know which chance to take. And we have chances to take all the time. Listen, that past week, you had the chance to vote. You either took it or you didn't. You either decided to participate in local government or you decided not to. Now somebody's going to say, well, I just forgot or I didn't have the time. You decided, unconsciously maybe. Only 20% of the people in New Hanover County decided to vote. So let's look around, 20%, what's that here? A bunch of us didn't. Not pointing anybody out, because I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But we have a choice. You had a choice to participate or not in local government. You either did or you didn't. You have a choice to serve. You have the choice to serve. Now you may think, well, you have a choice to volunteer. Well, you certainly do have a choice to volunteer. But you also have a choice to serve in whatever work you do. You see, there's this saying that we have, live to work or work to live. We think those are the only choices. I say, why don't you live to serve and work to serve? How about those choices? How about those choices? What if we all showed up to work saying, I'm going to serve. I'm here to serve. You know, Renee's a specifications writer for an architecture firm in Minnesota. I said, you know what? She serves architects day in and day out. She backs them up. She writes a technical manual. She communicates with them. She asks them. She serves architects. And she serves their clients by serving the architects who do the design. That's service. What is your job? What do you do for work? Service. What if I decide to serve instead of live to work or work to live? I think service is a bigger thing. I can choose, say yes to serving. Yes to serving. What about learning? I want to say yes to learning. I'm not just talking about taking a class. I'm talking about, what if I decide that if I get new information about something, that I'll change my mind? What if I get more information about something and I realize that the way I was thinking is not really accurate for me anymore? What if I decide that and say yes to changing my mind if I have new information? Those kinds of things. What if I decide that I'm really going to go green? I'm going to plant a garden. I'm going to compost. I'm going to buy the electric car. I'm going to do those things. I'm going to consciously go green in my life. Well, do that then. But decide. Decide. Don't be wishy-washy about it. Like I said, you're on the clock. We're all on the clock. Why do I want to be wishy-washy about it? I don't think so. I don't think so. And when we practice in these smaller ways of making decisions and saying yes consciously, when those big ones come along, we'll know which ones to take. Because we'll know more about ourselves by having consciously decided these other things. We'll know ourselves in a way we might not know ourselves today. That's the truth. You know, sometimes I use the Bible on Sundays. Sometimes I've been using the Dowd. I've used the Bhagavad Gita before, or inspirational writers like Mark Nepo or Pema Chodron. But today, I'm going to use another children's book. Because there is such wisdom in children's literature, I can't get by it. And this one is called, What Do You Do with a Chance? What do you do with a chance? Because we have chances all the time. All the time. I say yes, or I say no. What is the feeling in me that says yes to this and no to that? But here we go. I want to read this book to you. What do you do with a chance? One day, I got a chance. It just seemed to show up. It acted like it knew me, as if it wanted something. I didn't know why it was here. It's like, what do you do with a chance, I wonder? And just what it's beautifully illustrated. Amazing book. It fluttered around me, it brushed up against me, it circled me as if it wanted to grab me. I started to reach for it, but I was unsure, so I pulled back. And so it flew away. That chance. I thought about it a lot. I wished I had taken my chance. I realized I had wanted it, but I still didn't know if I had the courage. When another chance came around, I wasn't so sure, but I decided to try. I went for it. I reached for it, but I missed it and I fell. And I was embarrassed. I felt foolish. It seemed like everyone was looking at me, and I decided I never wanted to feel that way again. So after that, whenever a chance came along, I ignored it. And the more I ignored them, the less they came around. Until one day I noticed that I hadn't seen a chance in quite a while, and it was as if they had all disappeared. And I started to worry, what if I don't get another chance? I know I acted like I didn't care, but the truth was I did. I still wanted to take a chance, but I was afraid and I wasn't sure if I would ever be brave enough. And then I thought, maybe I don't have to be brave all the time. Maybe I just need to be brave for a little while at the right time. I realized it was up to me. I promised myself that if I ever got another chance, I wasn't going to hold back. And if I got another chance, I was really going to be ready. Then one seemingly ordinary day, walking back from lunch, I saw something shining far off in the distance across the street. Is it possible, I hoped? Could this be my chance? I had to find out. And so I ran as hard and as fast as I could toward it. I don't know how to explain it, but the second I let go of my fears, I was full of excitement. It wasn't that I was no longer afraid, but now my excitement was bigger than my fear. As I got closer, I could see that this was really a huge chance. Really big. But this time, I was ready. As it came by, I reached out and I grabbed it and I held on with all my might. It felt so good to soar and to fly and to be free. I now see that when I hold back, I miss out. when I'm afraid to say yes. And now I don't want to miss out. There's just so much I want to see and do and discover. So what do you do with the chance? You take it. Because it might be the start of something incredible. Yeah. Maybe I don't need to say anything else. Let's just take some time and go into meditation. Let's breathe in and breathe out. And let's search our own heart for a moment. Consider the yes and the no, the fear that I have, the courage that I have, how well I know myself, how well I practice deciding yes or deciding no, and to know that those decisions align with who and what I want to be. So breathing in and breathing out, just for a few minutes together. Deep breath in and one out. She realized she had this big, bold, and beautiful life. And she realized she didn't want to live it chasing and crying and apologizing, starving and fearing and regretting. She realized she wanted to live it proudly and freely and creatively, lovingly and fully and sweetly. She realized that she could choose, and so she chose.
500 years her bones in silence lay, till to a hunter, though she did appear, she told him, "Find me buried in the mountain, carry me home, I will lift the plague. Viva Palermo, viva Rosalia, viva Sicilia, Roma and Italia, viva tutti, viva il mondo, New York City, painting old sweet Rosalia Hayes. Museums closed, the world's in isolation, alone in prayer for comfort, hope, and grace. Viva Palermo, viva Rosalia, viva New York, New Orleans, and LA. Viva tutti, viva il mondo, viva Santa Rosalia.